We have no region. We have no tribe. We believe not in social or class standing. We believe in democracy.
For news, views, and entertainment, stay tuned to Society for Radio Democracy. 98.1, simply the best.
From New Englandville Studios, good morning and welcome to the first edition of the program Good Morning Salon for this week, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Today, na Monday, June 17th, 2019. We will bring the program come to you this Monday morning. Mina Khadija Bangura.
And Mina Elizabeth Campbell, good morning. Inside the program this morning, the principal at the Paul Blind School inside Bo Mohammed Saliu contest say the school not get the subvention from government for 3 months now. That's make the school authority them not able for feed or take care of the blind picking them wait up at the school. The President Julius Madabi don't call on leader and citizen them for they do the thing them way the late President Ahmad Tijan Kaba been they do for maintain peace and democracy for transform Salon. And inside today your program Radio Democracy go access the way our government don't handle picking business for so far.
Well, this and other story them dinner the program for you this Monday morning, plus work about save the inside the program for you. Members say they listen to we live on www.radiodemocracy.sl, courtesy of Osiwa and powered by AfriCell. The program na Good Morning Salon. You can send we message on any of the issues them where they can discuss na the program this morning on 077 981 981. Or if you watch we live now Facebook broadcast, you can also drop comments on the issues them where we discussed at the program this morning.
Well, inside the program we get with studio guests we go help we talk on the issue of picking business, and we get inside the studio Joyce B. Kamara, when are the Director of Children's Affairs at the Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs. Hello and welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Well, we take the first issue inside the program. For help up the plenty concern them, where authority them now the Islamic Secondary School Kenema don't they face for long term now we na like Pandibuklan in business and other one them make the Kenema Islamic Secondary School Old Students Association don't build 10 classroom building we cost over 500 million leons, launch one multi-purpose hall and give award to people where we don't contribute to the development of the school. Outside the Minister of Information and Communication Mohammed Rahman Swari inside in keynote address he call on teacher and school picking them not for mixed par exchange couple for sex or grade, as he say them as old boy na the school go continue for support them book learning na the school. I've been there and put these reports together. The Islamic Secondary School, we make up of boys and girls na the Kenema district, na the eastern province of the country, don't they contribute Pambukulani na the country for over 40 years now, and don't produce good people From 1981, when then old students here formed the Kenema Islamic Secondary School Old Students Association, Kisosa, for see how they go give back to them school, where them don't continue for they do. And this term now, the Old Boys Association don't build and hand over 10 classroom building to the school. Mabinde Christiana Momo, now the vice principal for the junior secondary school.
Today, now the day where Kisosa can hand over officially the 10 classroom building, we dream becomes true. We don't feel so good. We as teachers at the school, they don't upgrade the standard of the school. The school not been there in that good condition. The classrooms are not been enough, benches are not enough. We get 2 shifts at the school. It's the blessing where we brothers and come and giving at the school. They don't make now with 1 shift.
One challenge again where the vice principal say them in they get. Now the science lab where they say they not get. We make a call on government and other Soriat organization for help this Islamic secondary school na Kenema forget the science lab.
When we share say for let them come in and support you for let we get a science lab na this. Then we say they send to the government. Let government help we for let we get a science lab. They go perform well in terms of academic performance.
one of plenty reason them we make the old boys of Kisosa they give back to the school, according to the president for the Kenema Islamic Secondary School Old Students Association, Patrick Levy. Now the school don't help them for be better person in a society.
When they talk about Islamic Secondary School, Kenema, now one of the schools then where they do very, very well in the academic area. Now they don't get the likes of the Minister of Information, the head of government business, the parliament, we get Dr. Bauer, the lecturer, the University of Medical School, get a whole lot of people, including even Miss SF. So now this school will all long come, and we don't see and say, if we come back and get to school, what it don't do for we? Because if not to the school, not for be without be today. So we not go sit down and watch the school, they go down, we have not come back and support them. So we have not come for give this kind of support, so that the beginning where they right now themselves will be like we tomorrow.
After we one old pupil and teacher at the school, Haja Kone launched the multi-purpose hall building project. People then been start for pledge towards this project, and one pandem people here, now the chief executive officer and proprietor for the Canadian College of Modern Technology, na mile 91, Muksin Sise, we give 20 laptops for the school picking them. Scholarship for 10 students them for attend the Canadian College of Modern Technology, and 10 million loans towards the project. Where this is say, a surprise gift to the Minister of Information and Communication, because he say na him make am udat a bit today, even though he not attend the Islamic Secondary School na Kenema.
It is based on what the Honorable Minister helped me. I went outside, I acquired education and skill. I rose to the position of a software developer for HP, Hewlett Packard in Canada, and I took that knowledge, I brought it back home, and in 2014 I decided I am going to open my own college. It's called the Canadian College of Modern Technology. This will never have happened if someone did not do a little act of kindness that have changed my life and my entire people. I want to thank you so much. I want to join Kisosa. I'm going to pledge 10 million. Added to that, I want to pledge 20 laptops. Added to that, I'm going to work with the Honorable Minister. 10 students from here. They are going to select those students who have financial needs, so we'll pay for them at the Canadian College of Modern Technology.
Where they give the keynote address, the Minister of Information and Communications, Mohamed Raman Sware, say for build the school now one, but the outcome of the students them in the academic performance now the most important achievement where any Pekin forgets. After we don't do in education, usa a later call on the students them, not for mix my exchange sex for grade or pay couple for pass exam.
36 years ago, I was like you. I remember representing Form 1 White and the debate here. Those were the days we lived in. It was on the basis of your pedigree, the quality of what you did here that mattered. We have to together clamp down on sexually awarded grades. It is not a tenable thing to do. This is sadly enough becoming a trend. When we were schoolboys here, that was not fashionable. It is a shame. It's a disgrace for a country that has once been acclaimed as the Athens of West Africa, now to be the crying shame, the laughing stock of the region when it comes to the quality of our teaching and learning. If we get the foundation in schools wrong, we cannot go anywhere.
The Minister of Information and Communications, Mohamed Raman Sware, same way so member students them for take the free quality education serious and call on parents, teachers, the Sierra Leone Teachers Union and the media for the help the picking them so that they will come out fine and give back to society.
Parents have to come on board. The Sierra Leone Teachers Union have to come on board. The media has to assist. Of course, we have to be teachers of good pedigree and integrity. Now that His Excellency has declared free any student who goes to study science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in university, take advantage of that. In fact, that is why when President Bill addresses audiences like yours, he says, I do not see people. I see medical doctors. I see lawyers. I see future presidents. I see future politicians. But you have to take that in your stride. President Bill has spoken to the need to return our country's school day a single shift system. It is efforts like these that show that we at the Islamic Secondary School, Kenema, heed the President's clarion call for intervention to make free quality education an enduring legacy. He also noted that education is the best foundation that a nation can bequeath to its children. And that is why, as Kisosa, both home and abroad, we have invested our hard times to ensure the actualization of this now come true.
Students them where they attended the Islamic Secondary School Kenema been telling me how them feel and how this 10 classroom building don't help them forgo one shift system.
Mina and Eskainge at the Athena Islamic Secondary School, SSS1 inside Kenema. We feel so optimistic. So we'll be the skin for building really. We'll all be the use one building where we say we get 2 shifts. But now as the new building don't come, we dey use now one shift. Just like waiting, Minister of Information don't tell we say, what you want, let your name left on the school. You not get for the right on the benches or on the walls. If you left free corner the school at the end, where it go make people that remember you. Kisosa appreciate them really. What then tell we again, where make us so glad over this. He pledge say 10 students for go university free, where you get good requirements. That this to go make with the tight up belts.
I'm Hawa Madison from the Great Islamic Senior Secondary School. I'm in SSS1 Science 02. Well, for the development of this new 10 building classroom, I'm so happy about it because for the city accommodation in the school is not too well, because when our seniors are writing to the WAS examination, our school breaks because there is no good sitting. But for now, we have 10 building classroom. We have even started the one shift.
Inside the ceremony, they been give award to people who don't contribute to the development of the school. Usai one pandem na the Minister of Information and Communications, Muhammad Rahman Sware, for Radio Democracy. Mina Elizabeth Campbell, the reports.
We will continue with the program. Good morning, Salon, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. Well, as you heard earlier from one power headlines to read them today in the program, Radio Democracy go assess how government don't they handle picking them business. Government don't they put different policy them together as to how they go handle picking them and self-address some of the issues them where picking them don't they raise concern about na the country. Well, the Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs na the government agency where they in charge of picking business na the country. Well, for can look at some of the issues there, we don't they ambog picking them welfare na the country. Now the program I want for welcome Joyce B. Kamara, in a Director of Children's Affairs na the Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs. Good morning, Madam Kamara, and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
And self na the studio, I want for welcome Frederick Ibrahim Kamara, in a Director of Education, Communication and Training at the Human Rights Commission of Salon. Human Rights Commission of Salon, as we all know, na the body we responsible for looking inside human rights issues them where they affect people na the country. Well, picking themselves na part of the people in the country, and then self don't they go through some human rights violation na different parts them, from their home them to the street and other area them where they affect them. Well, now that make Frederick there this morning for can talk about how the Human Rights Commission of Salon they try for handle human rights issues them where they affect picking them. Mr. Kamara, good morning.
Good morning, and good morning, people.
All right. Well, if we talk about picking them and some of the concern them where they don't they raise and issues them where they affect them, of course we go get the Children's Forum where now the body we're responsible for looking inside the affairs of picking them and safe channel then concern them where then company picking them can get to government. While at the studio, I want to welcome Marian Samai, in the president for the Children's Forum Network. Good morning, Marian, and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
All right. Well, that na Marian Samai, the president for Children's Forum Network. As soon as I read today, they look at issues them where they are about picking and how government policy them where they don't put together, how they don't implement them for look inside the welfare of picking them. Well, we'll start with you, Marian, as president for the Children's Forum Network. Let me start for look at some of the issues them where you think say the amboguna are speaking them. From time to time, we don't hear from the forum, when they pull press releases, so some of the channel when concern them through government. Let me start for look at some of them concern here where we get us speaking them.
Thank you very much once more. The issues them boku because when it comes to picking business, picking na people where is it that we complicated kind of and we issues them not they done because when you look at picking and it begin from 0 to 18 years and then a population will always they growing and they stop. So when it comes to picking issues them we get teenage pregnancy we're very paramount where boku picking them boku girl picking and they go through teenage pregnancy when most times now they're not the victims because if you look at the issue of rape we go inside there, you look at the issue of child marriage, sex for grade, all other issues them na teenage pregnancy na the head part up them and most times the girl picking them na they're the victims then na they're the most vulnerable one them when it comes to this particular issue. We get child labor and child trafficking. Well also don't they see very prevalent in terms of Children's Forum Network because we're gonna communities, we talk to we company. Most times you can go now, like for the cities, most times when we go now then slum areas, you they ask speaking if you don't ever then a free tongue, and they tell you saying I'm antica with me. Who say you they not even sabi your address. So you see say child trafficking and people where they go take them family and picking them from just them villages, not so for can send them go school, but for men they just can work, for men they just can serve as kind of slaves to them, don't begin increase. And we also they see say people in the traffic with gal picking them, and don't the prevalent say people that they take picking them from rural areas and then they traffic them to other countries. It don't be prevalent. And also we get the issue of child marriage. Oh, don't they say don't they boku? Even though we government don't they make strives, even though strives then they for make child marriage stop. But you go see person tell you say, well, me why be get belle, na me decide for go married. You also go see person tell you say, well, me them force me for go married or I not one married at that particular age. So the issues were related to picking business and we save, especially when it comes to safeguarding and protection issues. It also boku because we they see say we rights and not really protected the way I want them for be, because if picking and rights really protected, then you not go get people them just they beat picking in the streets. You not go get picking them where for really they in safe homes, where for they are safeguarded places, that they in a street, some of them even in a juvenile centers. And if you ask speaking where they are juvenile homes, like can go do we outreach to them, it will tell you say me na pickpockets. And these things are societal defects. Now because of society not make this structure way for make for them, make that they do them thing and they, because if they get the right parents care, they're not going to street they pickpockets. Then they put them picking in a juvenile homes where for them at school for more than 15 years, then man will get picking and get bail. And that's not for happen. So the thing that they affect to come picking them so boku that
Miss Samai, let we look at some of the issues them we don't highlight one after the other. First one way paramount we talk about now the issue of teenage pregnancy where they affect una as speaking them. But some of the issues there, we don't they see government they put different law them together for protect una as speaking them. We don't they see child rights campaigner them, they come, they talk tough for let una self get una rights them. They advocacy them and the laws the way governments don't they put. How you think say they don't they implement them for protect una?
Well, to your part as speaking them, we feel say government don't make strives, just like I say, government don't try. Then advocacy organizations, them back like CFN, the other advocacy organizations, they do very well for try for protect girl picking them, but more needs to be done because when it comes to teenage pregnancy, we know they see the girl picking them, even though we they see and say, now because of societal barriers, but we know they see them say now they're not the cause, we they see them as the victims. Because some parents go tell you say, but this speaking wayward, we don't do all the way we could, but it's still in our streets. But when they tell them say, if you really take care of your picking very well, if you really give that picking the monitoring where in need, and not go in our streets. But because you know they monitor them very well, now make it in our streets. Then to the government on your side, would they say make government, you not go able to stop all picking for making all do man business where the time don't reach for them. So na time than the way government for make sure say they empower their advocacy bodies there for go down there and try for disseminate the message in terms of prevention, because now you see say picking that they give prevention pills, but picking them not for take prevention. Now that the law. So if laws then the way they protect picking say, okay, you they out there, but if you don't begin man business, then you can take protection for making not get belly, then you can further your education. So if we get some of them laws that way they protect picking them, I believe so we can go far with them. But also government don't they make strides, but we still need more to be done because we believe say challenges are still there.
All right, continue for the between the program. In case you just tune in, you listen to Good Morning Salon, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. The time from studio clock now 7:49, and today na the program where they look at some of them where governments don't put together for protect picking their rights and how then law they don't they impact the picking them. Law come to you, Joyce B. Kamara, Director of Children's Affairs, Ministry of Social Welfare. Now the agency, now the government body, we're responsible for protect picking their rights. You don't listen to waiting Mayan Samai from Children's Forum don't talk. You don't outline some of the things them where they are they are speaking them. One, it talk about teenage pregnancy, sex for grade, and other one them. But when you listen to all them concern there, somebody go and say, Lord and day, we for prevent, then think that would marry and say they happen to picking them, for let not happen to them. But amidst all them law, there are still challenges they among the picking them. What think governments they do?
Well, like where it talk really, policies then they laws then they way really for addressing issues and they for punish the perpetrators then way then they violate their laws then. For example, like where it talk about sex for grade, whether they give their PKR money, now the parents then so may they look at and this poor parenting it creates very serious problem. Although we don't they really engage their communities there. Then all over the country, we ministry officers, then they work with their child protection partners. Then with the pikin themselves, they can go around, they talk to the communities, and we inside talk. The parents and the company, for say, no really go give money for let get mommy and daddy business with teacher. Waiting for do now for study very hard. And the teachers themselves, they get education policy. Teachers they get code way, they get the policy wey dem don put in place wey for punish them really. But then policies I feel say if they really punish them teachers because you the teacher you dey take the place of a parent. What dey na school, you na teacher, the parents they forget their pikin they go na school because una na uncle una na aunties, that's why pikin they take them. So if you say they go give mark to pikin for let you get mommy and daddy na big problem. And when the law catch you, they go punish you because the government will not put like the Sexual Offences Act 2012 that they for punish people the way that they get mommy and daddy business with them picking them. Even talk again but then trafficking business 2005 the Anti-Human Trafficking Act government will put am in place. They establish the task force so dem don dey really address the issues and they punish people like somebody the way they begin at 22 years imprisonment right now e dey na padem barrow. Some people dey wey they give them 10 15 but wetin na the problem people dey report. And this law wey I dey talk about 2005 they don just review am now. They get robust acts wey na the Anti-Human Trafficking Act wey e dey for punish that kind people dem dey. We get internal trafficking like somebody will go upline e go take pikin say I dey go put this pikin here na school e come with am and when e come with am before the pikin go na school like how Samai dey talk then dey left am e dey go na street e dey go sell a vulnerable wey e don left e dey pass somebody go even get sexual abuse with am or instead sef can fall as a victim in conflict to the law.
Yes, you don't talk about all the things them way the ministry don't they do in terms of the law, but enforcement of the law now one major thing we're very weak, now the area of government. With all this, when I don't do this, but yet still we see challenges them we the beginning they go through. I ensured we una go do something way different from what una be done they do, for make sure say the law then work really because something and una can start at the end of the day. Una no they continue with them and it add more problem to the picking them.
Well, like what I mean talk, what you go make really way this lawyer go hold water. The parents then get for work with you because when you see you born picking, the first teacher not to social welfare or not to government. Now the mama, the papa, the sister and brothers them. That picking not they get some habits they say they don't go school. When it is school, the school self, they say they try them, but the parents, you can see picking they go school, they go with knife. Government no go tell them say when I take knife go to school. Some people they go when they say exam time. And they go spy. When they hold and they can't set confusion, they stone ya this that. All that thing the government will tell them, say they do. Before then 3 years they can happen. The ministry will they work with their child protection partners and the people themselves will they engage their communities them. Will they engage them? Will they tell them say you picking no left hand for make you go married, where time not reach for them married. Left hand make you go school. right now like wey free education dey so na big opportunity wey dem say go grab am wey dem pikin dem wey dem learn dem go develop their family dem no go depend per family or become liability dem go be self-reliant dem go dey wey dem go help their family dem even the country as a whole. So like wetin I dey talk, dem policies dem like we don just do the child welfare policy, we get the alternative care policy. Dem policies dem we dey use am even the time of Ebola, the time of flooding, mudslide. If not for dem document dem, e be for difficult time we dey use dem provisions dem like pikin dem wey dem can identify dem as vulnerable pikin dem. We dey use am for example for send dem like the intake care centers when dem go there normal dem get say dem dey inside that document wey go say this pikin here forget psychosocial counseling, this pikin here e forget family tracing and reunification, and dem no reunify no more. Government dey see say dem reunify with some packages. We get some heart NGOs wey dem dey help with dem packages dem wey dem dey carry pikin dem go dem give dem. Dem even wey e talk about like remand home 15 years pikin dem like right now we get pikin dem wey dem mother tell wey na mother dem commit dem kill, but dem dey go wetin can be their problem. Dem can need witness, the court can need evidence, court can need witness, but when dem can need their family dey deny dem. So pikin dem wey we dey carry dem go na remand home, then wey dem don remit dem now na approved school, yeah na reformation dem can dey really some dem dey do very well. I get some result dem wey pikin dem pass gbeke. So dem get 13 wey na yanda dem dey o. The one dem wey dem dey to their parents dem no get am. The government this year the president e release up to 10 Independence Day. 10 we go dem do the ceremony, dem reunify dem with their parents dem.
Just be Kamara, Director of Children's Affairs and the Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs. Continue for the between the program. Back on to you, Frederick Ibrahim Kamara from the Human Rights Commission. Don't listen to concern them way may and don't put from them the picking them and serve the response way Joyce don't make from the Ministry of Social Welfare. Issues of human rights violation to picking them life, not to new, not to secret. You self got good me say they happen na different places ranging from child minors, child labor and picking themselves where sometimes they can rape. From the Human Rights Commission, wetin una can do for ensure say una tackle issues them where they violate picking and human rights?
Thank you very much. As a commission, first of all, we want for wish all the picking in Africa, as well as particularly Sierra Leone, where we commemorate the Day of the African Child. And that particular day, they raise big awareness for say picking them for be protected, the rights of picking them for be protected and promoted. And so as the commission we set up by government with a mandate, where the act we established the commission in 2004 with a mandate, broad mandate for protect and promote human rights in Sierra Leone and other related matters, we take picking them as one class of the people them we target for protect and promote their rights. But I want to give Famble them a background about the protection of human rights. Today people them for take note say human rights then they protect them by law. And again, human rights you go only limit people their rights where you use the law, and person will only claim in right where you use the law. That one they are going to interpret them. Where we talk say human rights are protected by law, international human rights law they tell we say the government now get the obligation, the government or the state get 3 major obligations. 1 now for respect people and rights, 2 now for protect people and rights, and 3 now for promote the rights of people. So anything we as a commission they do now for support government in their for meet their obligations in the. So as a commission, we want one of the functions that we do now for remind government of your obligations. So and how would they do them? when we get work the way they do, they monitor and document human rights violations.
All right, Mr. Kamala, yes. All you day quickly. Will they come back to you? The time from studio clock now 8 o'clock. Okay. We'll just get for take this short commercial break. We'll come, we go continue for explain about the Human Rights Commission they're working protecting the rights of the child.
Salon Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile app, you can able for use Salon Link money transfer for send money to anybody like you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office like you not get the account number. Buy Salite, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for the boss man them. With Million Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all you supplier them, sell forex to Salon Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salon Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
The program where you listen to now, Good Morning Salon, and they come to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We continue to talk to his studio guest, winner Frederick Ibrahim Kamara, winner the Director of Education and Communications and Training at the Human Rights Commission. As we just done the explain, waiting on our role, na the human rights aspect for make sure say unagi protect speaking their rights. How far on don't they work with governments, because we don't see a lot of violations them against picking them rights. How far on don't they work with governments for ensure say they picking their rights, they're able for get their rights where belong to them, because you say will attest to that more not done it that particular direction.
Yeah, well, now the foundation has been built how the protection and promotion of human rights, particularly the picking rights, they take place. And they put we on role as a commission, say we they remind government of their obligation, and we they tell them waiting now we on way how we observe human rights. So like they say, the one pillar we government can use for protect human rights now for establish or create laws and institutions we're responsible. So as a commission, we always done the meet government and advocate that we enact laws them with child-friendly laws. So if you recall, in 2007, government domesticate, bring come into law the Child Rights Act. But then now from the international perspective, now I make human rights, we they say now universal. It all side, and we whatever we do in Sierra Leone for be tied up with waiting they obtain internationally. So the government copy some of the provisions them now the Convention on the Rights of the Child and adapt them to what we now call the Child Rights Act of 2007. And inside that act, the provision there for the establishment of a national commission for children. And so as a commission, we always been the remind government, say government, now your duty for let you establish that commission. We're specifically responsible for the promotion of the rights of the child. And if you look at the act, you will see the first preamble where we talk about this, the enactment, this act is enacted to promote the rights and welfare of the child. One big gap within Sierra Leone now that indeed we get fine laws them, but the implementation of the laws them now in weak. And so as a commission, we always again urge government. You see now their words then they will use. Some of the means they will use for remind government of your obligation are press releases. And I can recall and remind with people them in 2015, we been come up with a controversial press release where they talk about the pregnant girls them for be sent back to school, where people them be frowned at. But we want to say the right to education, not a right, where everybody for enjoy, more especially the picking them. And if one time to what happened in 1976, na Soweto, the picking them in the fet for the right to education.
Some them can say political will now for day before na able for do one or two things. Is it that the political will not day for let una really do na work for protect the Peking rights, na the human rights aspect of the topic?
Political will very great in the protection and promotion of human rights, because like I don't give you the preamble, the obligation of the state or government in the protection, the primary obligation now for protect the rights of everybody. And how you do I don't lay the foundation, say the laws them. So we see the Child Rights Act, and later the Sexual Offences Act come in 2012. As a commission, we can always review them laws then day, and again bring and come to government's attention. Say some of them provision they are within the law, they're very important. As when you watch, the main thing we go ask with people in a salon for do, and particularly state actors, we'll talk about state actors, government officials. Let us pay attention to some of the laws and recommendations they will make. I can refer to some things that we all don't do, where we go. We'll say we go college or make write-ups. At the end of the write-up, we make recommendations. But how many of we they follow up on their recommendations that they out of college?
Mr. Kamara,
Yes.
you say one way we can use for remind government of the responsibility then in terms of implementing some of the law they already don't put for protect picking them through press releases.
Yeah.
But through them press releases, then they way una don dey poll from time to time, just like what you said 2015 they on a poll.
Yes.
Most people believe say they make impact. The law then dey, but the crime then still dey on the increase.
Yes.
As a commission, wetin una don do for go beyond the press releases in terms of reminding government of the responsibility?
We don't do a lot. Like I say again, the very 2000, you know the constitutional review process been there. We again we go and use this platform as a commission. We dey of the view say that then be a very good process where the current government for make sure say we bring and come up back to speed. But I want to tell you, say we put all the energy and effort after the commission done day for over 10 years. We put all we make a review. We do consultations them very na various regions them and bring with stakeholders them together for come up with a position paper to the constitutional review process. And I want to tell you, say inside that document the key things and they will be call government attention for be incorporated or for put them inside the constitution. And anything within the constitution not like a sacred something. So a lot we've been do, and we present them to government for draw their attention. Say these are the things. One key thing now this right to education. Currently, if we look at now the constitution, the 1991 constitution, we call them say not justiciable. You know, will take government to court for education business. Yes, you see, say governments they put. We'll talk about political really very important. Currently, we even recognize the efforts where governments they make for where they introduce this free quality education. But as a commission, we also can raise with concern say certain challenges and they we go make the free quality education not all water. So we see and say a brilliant step, but still in no day na the constitution say somebody can take government to court.
Right.
The aspect of civil and political rights now take very big. Now this country now make you see people that they even kill for politics or even take people into court because we talk about say a justiciable way their rights then you can take government to court. Would a person stop for votes and where say get all what it take for their votes? You can take government to court for that or any institution responsible.
Right.
But for the educational aspect, we as a commission say since we call them fundamental principles of government, the chapter 3 currently, we remind government now we own position paper. So we always every year they remind government and even engage key stakeholders then. Yep.
Continue for the between the program. In name now Frederick Ibrahim Kamara, in the Director of Education, Communication and Training na the Human Rights Commission of Salon. In case you just tune in today, they look at some of the government policy them where them put together for improve picking their life. How them policy are on the impact the picking them. We get somebody from Social Welfare, Children's Forum and Save the Human Rights Commission. We they continue with the program and now they look at another issue inside the program when I want power headlines to read them. Outside the principal for the Paul Blind School Nabo Mohammed Saliu Conte and authority them na the school door is concerned for sake of the plenty challenge them where they say they don't get pambuk learning we get for do with better learning material where the school no get. Then say they know they get subvention for over 3 months now and the poor living of the school picking them na this school. Then authority areas then concern to Radio Democracy where the Dahlia Foundation go support this school with steam them for eat and wear we all cost over 25 million leons. Musa S. Kamara been day part of this ceremony and he go now report.
Free quality education music by school picking them na the Paul Blind School Bowl as part of their support to the government free quality education. As them say, them believe say book learning na the tool for better life. But even though they get this belief in book learning, authority them na the school don't raise concern for sake of the plenty challenge them where then they get from book learning.
The school lack of school material. The typewriter they use for C2E exam, both internal and external exam, the typewriter they don't fill out. The school is straight for dandy. Do you want to help in the school material? Paper, typing sheets, whether they call A4 paper, batteries, and even recorder them. There are plenty. The school pick that they go to school as this now rainy season, they work up by foot go to the school then. As they reach, as they don't get nice for going to school, before they reach, they don't sit down. Mean at one part of the school picky they do adult sit twice at the wait from your results. The transportation really poor for get we in that area there. In the area of water business back, we get water, but it get color problem, it get taste problem. Exams they also keep going inside there. Do ya if na pipe borne water safe, like na one pipe, do ya na make that women enter na the compound. Smart they come na compound, get all we property they will get. The managing the way the people that he can't give we, they not they think about that. What's no more like Sunday ya, they go most kinds of but pray that they not go be, gonna go answer the prayer.
Alpha Bob Carter, head boy for the Paul Blind School Bowl, they talk about some of the challenge them within the face pambuk learning. Inside Ion talk, the principal for this school, Mohammed Saliu Conte say, authority them defend and difficult for feed the 55 picking them where the school gets. As he say, na about 3 months now the school no get subvention, but whose impact this gets on the school?
Well, it be really humble because they begin and they get too sufficient food where at least they're supposed to get, except with the loan, except when they go and trust. And at the end of the day, where the money come, now pay the money we get for pay to suppliers then. So that they create a real problem for we. For now 2 terms where they feed the picking them. And not really easy. The school gets 55 picking them. 48 in a compound here, I will get about 7 out. Some don't sit was, and the 7 where they out, they prepare for sit was.
All this be where the Dahlia Foundation go get team for it where to school picking them na this school.
Mina Ani Lansana, president for Dahlia Foundation. Dahlia Foundation na an all-female organization. Na about we 40 day we get members and then they out of the country. And one of the main aims them na for help the underprivileged, na for help the needy and the disadvantaged. And we don't go to blind school in Freetown and we'll be try let we not left in Freetown no more because we care about everybody in Sierra Leone. So now make we decide say let we come na this other blind school in the southern province in St. Paul's.
And Ilansana continue for talk about some of the things them where then give to them pikia and what's in cost.
We bring bags of rice, toiletries, we include soap, toothpaste, sanitary pad for the picking them, oil, basic necessities no more for feed the picking them. What we bring worth about 25 million loans We get these funds from the different activities the way Dahlia they do for raise funds for them purpose here.
Where it received NTR, the matron for the Paul Blind School Board, Mary Try, tell thank you to the Dahlia Foundation and call on other people not to forget the school.
When the school open, nothing no day. Like yesterday, I go meet me headmaster the way he done. I say he done so. He say me to a heart for talk. I say God day. So if we not carry that kind of thing they have for we gladly. We they talk, do ya let the message reach to other people then. We get, do ya we get picky then now the people they can left now ya they not get nothing. Now we they dress them, now we they do boku thing for them. So do ya we they beg let everybody go here. If right now the kitchen who's how they cook for them, they leak. We not able make her. Boku thing poil now ya. So we they tell una thank you as soon as
President for Dahlia Foundation, Annie Lansana, call on Salon people not to forget the Paul School for the Blind Nabo and serve other sector of society where they need help. As in promise, the Dahlia Foundation continues support to the sector of society. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Musa S. Kamara.
Better don't come, better don't come. A Union Trust Bank again. Your Salon Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty product and service there for you. You must get what you want to go better. Let me savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. All for you. Me and you, Union Trust Bank, na Salon for me and you. Kids future savings account, ide. School fee savings account, ide. Pay advance salary scheme, ide. We branch and they all love but na Salon. Boko no kenema, we ide. Kabala mabogo kakambia, we ide. Jala free town loan sa, we ide. And my 91, me and you. Union Trust Bank, me and you. Union Trust Bank, Union Trust Bank, na Salon for me and you. Union Salon Banco, Union Trust Banco.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses.
The program where you listen to now, Good Morning Salon, and they come to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We will bring this edition of the program Good Morning Salon come to you. Mina Elizabeth Campbell.
And Mina Khadija Bangura.
Well, we will continue for talk to the studio guests. Them now we will come to Mariam Samai from Children's Forum. Mariam, you don't listen to waiting the director of Children's Affairs and Social Welfare and serve the Human Rights Communications and Training person we don't explain waiting and don't do so far. From waiting you don't hear, more especially to the director of Children's Affairs and the Minister of Social Welfare. You subscribe to waiting they say in terms of the laws them way they and they don't do this, they don't do that.
Well, particularly happy because both of them agree say the institutions and the laws then they and they know they work, because if the laws then they work, we know they see picking and stealing our streets, we know they see that they rape picking them, we not go see picking and stealing instead of going to school, they're still in our streets, they beg, or they're still in our streets, they deal with their parents, then they plead for feasibility like. So they already don't put her on the floor. I agree with me, say the laws then they, but they need to work. And most times, even the Child Rights Act, the Child Rights Act, so they protect the rights of picking them. We don't see we are in institutions so they work for picking them. We don't see we are in people who for protect the rights of picking them. Sometimes they violate this Child Rights Act. And just like how my uncle from the Human Rights Commission say, the government they in the place for protect we and we rights them, and they in the place for make sure say then laws they are being enforced. But Sierra Leone, just like I say, Sierra Leone are a place wherein for enforce laws and monitor them laws there can be very, very slow. So you see, say the laws they need beaucoup Ministry of Social Welfare bodies that way they protect picking and rights and go tell you say we don't put them laws there in place for make picking and no then at juvenile centers, we don't put them laws there in place for make picking and not get belly, but they still see that thing there they happen. So then in a clear picture say then laws they are not the work.
Marian, then laws there where you say they're not the work. Normally we can see una the picking them through the Children's Forum network. Una can engage policy maker them. Una can engage government, tell them some of the things them we not right for una. The laws then weak. Not so today una are speaking and don't begin to talk about them. During the engagements there una can get normally una can put together a position paper. For example, yesterday una been the Day of the African Child. We don't say una the picking they engage them policy maker there for look inside them law there if possible for review them. How far una don't go with engagement for remind them say the laws then weak and they know they protect una.
All right, so that's a very salient question. In terms of engagement, the Children's Forum Network and most of the other advocacy organizations, we can do that through radio programs, we can do that through a position paper. And yesterday, when I've been June 16, picking them through the Ministry of Social Welfare, picking them come out in different districts throughout the regions of Sierra Leone, and we all don't can see them, and we don't put we position paper together. But not to today, no more we begin put we position paper together. We get issues of education, issues on health, especially health now, where we get for deal with illnesses when are abnormal illnesses, where they affect mostly picking them, and sometimes you go see say it's sort of like we country not ready for them because now we don't see people they come on for big for picking them for making travel go abroad, picking them with cancer, picking them with issues them were very abnormal, and we believe say this not thing them where government for make provisions for because them picking them not to then say make them get a kind illnesses.
Them position paper I own I don't they present to government them year in year out. They don't they make impact. The government them don't really they sit down look into a position them and try for act towards them.
Well, in terms of that, I would say impacts on the day, but very slow because we're not going to entirely say no impacts on it, but we don't necessarily say we position paper them all they give. Well, it's very slow for make impacts because we some time ago we advocate for the National Commission for Children and we see the establishment of the National Commission for Children. We also see say the commission as they do very well, but we representatives them who we vote for last year for make them sit down at the commission up to now not even take them seats there, and that is a gap, now a space where them for use for advocates more
So
on the
commission
company picking them.
dormant.
Yes. Somehow the commission dormant.
What's not the cause?
Well, because picking them not did it, that's now one. And two, because picking them sort of they're not they listen to them because if we position paper them where we they give out, if we position paper them where we they give to the government, if they really they listen to we position paper them, if they really they waiting we they put inside them position paper then I believe say the issues of picking them go sort of they'll go improve, they'll go monitor the issues of picking them, but the position paper already give dormant, and I believe say because of that and I make the commission of itself dormant because if you listen to waiting the picking and they say then you go able to enact the laws them.
All right. Let me bring you in Joyce from the Ministry of Social Welfare.
Yeah.
You don't listen to what Marian say.
Yeah.
The laws then weak. They know they work in their favor. Most of the law the way government can pass for protect picking their rights. They're not on to the work in their favor. And again, apart from what Marian say, most people don't raise concern about the law there, especially the law they ordained the Sexual Offences Act of 2012. Say the punishments them where governments on the puts and then law there, they're not even worth the crime where the perpetrator they can commit.
Yeah, that I just was what Mario say. Marian say well the laws are weak and it say we confirm. I not say for director of education, but me I not talk say the laws and way government they put in place is weak, even the policies there. Because as far as me concerned, you know, that kind laws that way government they put in place, the policies there, we get for join together for implementing. The ministry they say and what they see, they became they not get time really for sit don't look their position paper. for analyzer say this will put this time around na so they don't implement and they don't get time. The time where they get for meet Thursday, where they meet Thursday, they arrange for their workshop the way they want to do or whatever.
But not on a responsibility for engage the pikin them for let them know waiting then at the document for let them see how they go work to work.
I just dey talk, you will give me chance, like just explain. So like the position by like yesterday, we not idle way will be there with the up to 10 o'clock. Even the minister of social welfare, been there. If we not take pikin business serious na Salon, we not go left with home, we go there na that place, the Edwards yesterday, up to 10 for just put position paper. Yesterday na the 16th. But because Sunday, we not been do anything like for commemorating. What we do yesterday, they began conference, we there with them. Now then at the middle of everything, and then we they just coordinate for say they don't put all the concerns in place. And we began one lady way do a presentation. All the issues then where they don't implement, the pass to a position president, they confirm and say, okay, we don't do this, we don't do this. So why we not do like today? We they can't go now on a Miata conference. If government not take them seriously, vice president not will go yonder. President not dey la just don't give me time. Let me just done wetin I dey talk.
For day with them throughout.
No, when what you do now, you know, if you give me chance now, explain.
With them throughout the day of the African child, somebody go say na good initiative, na una responsibility as a ministry. But from what Mayor don't say, una can deal with them, then they put together a position paper year in year out. But for let government look into them things there.
When that give me chance now, just analyze and short. Then position papers then 2015. Then pikin okay they go parliament wetin they talk they can intercept talk they say they want the establishment of the National Commission for Children when na one of the structures na the Child Rights Act 2007 we make sure say we really we minister wey be dey by then and all the officers and the child protection partners they look into that they say well this really let we go dey talk with the government e make sure say e put that the concern in place. Then apart from that, Sexual Offences Act. Now they talk for say now one of the position paper. They say nothing no dey happen. Then they rape pikin there. Now government get for do that also. We get that sexual offences. And let me tell you, the parents they go responsible. Even the pikin themselves. Like then they rape one pikin. As they say one of the assistant directors, they lock phone. You see, they compromise with their cases there. Because when they don't give them money, then they take her. And their case then they now communities and what they tell they happen, picking themselves they we go expect them with the report as they don't tell me. Marion knows say some cases they went at child marriage. They don't put pikin and go guinea for marriage. When they bring them back, then government don't harmonize that law. So like when they talk, the child right act it talk about pikin for marriage above 18 but the customary law is a parents once they don't give their consent pikin for marriage 11 and 16 government don't do work now they don't harmonize that law. If pikin not reach past 18 you put am for that marriage day government the law go hold it they put in na pademba road.
You talk about the establishment of the Children's Commission wey na one way where government respond to the pikin request, but according to Mayor Naya, yes, the government established the Children's Commission for looking at issues them where they affect them. But according to the commission dormant, they are speaking they will get them problems, so they affect them. From where them vote for the one they wait for the part of the commission up till now, they're not able for the day.
That not show say it dormant. Himself no say na by time.
But na then the
no na the time no but you know the commission we get picking them dey adult one they dey so na the time where the ministry they wait when the time reach the government therefore change them while they then replace her with the other people but the time if you not reach let's say the first government no will just go change like that the picking them dey right now and not go tell me say picking them representative only then once now like where we go where them we don't win them just one and make they go put them they put them one but get for wait where the road time pass then we not self candidate where they self the road pass then the other one they candidate where we go nabo na that time where they make a president we all dey we honor am now in a president. So I feel say like when say the National Commission is dormant I not believe that they just come up with them when they go do some activities there, wey for protect pikin dem rights.
Alright, from wetin you don talk, you really satisfied with the way and manner how the ministry don dey handle pikin business so far in the country?
Yeah, what na wetin I dey try for say, im say the laws dem they don put in place, the laws dem weak, but me want let dem set look at dem laws dem dey. This law sexual offences act dem look at 2007, let dem structures dem, dem 7 dem CWCs, the ministry dey work very hard, we get dem one na the community dem. If not to that day, dem no dey report cases dem. The president bin don pass say anybody wey sexually abuse pikin, e dey go life imprisonment. That also na from the child the sexual offences act, because when president don see say a rampant dem dey go and rape dem pikin dem, na make go the president pass that law, and from where don pass that law dem don dey act on it.
You go agree with me say una get boku work for do in terms of implementation of them laws there, because the one way they talk about so go life imprisonment, implementing the Sexual Offences Act of 2012, but yet still reports them from the courts they show say sexual penetration on a child dey on the increase.
Let me tell you, una dey blame the government, what about the
Nobody
parents?
No, they blame
no,
the
but let me talk to you, the
fire.
parents dem na dem dey encourage dem pikin dem for do this mami and daddy business wey even child if dem say right now the law dey bet parents dem, boku parents dem na dem go go na jail. Some pikin dem dey come beg, me no dey call name, dem dey come beg, una wan let mama go jail, una the mami dem na dem dey marry go arrange marriage business. Even then na radio if una go remember, like that incident na Marama or Lumley, when I'm there, then I read the minister says go there with then police, then you know we make sure say the perpetrators they arrest, they say the battle all this that. So parents they really, I feel say this got to do with good parenting, because poor parenting that creates all this problem here.
All right, continue for the way to the program. Joyce B. Kamara, Director of Children's Affairs at the Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs. Mr. Frederick from Human Rights Commission, you don't listen to the two submissions them from Madam Joyce from Social Welfare and the President for the Children's Forum Network. It clear from what he may and say, it clearly shows say pikin them still they go through violation. You dey see say pikin them in the streets they sell them for go school, they're not able for go school, issues of rape, they embark them in other things them. We clearly show say una as a Human Rights Commission, una get a great role for play for protect them pikin.
Yes, I don't listen to the two submissions and they're very much important in the discussion of human rights protection and promotion. Yes, the Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs, now one mechanism of governments get in place for ensure say the rights and welfare of children are protected. The Human Rights Commission self now another, and then the Children's Forum Network now an advocacy group where therefore make sure say the public be aware of the concerns of picking them. So as a commission, we get a key role for play in the day. While they listen the two discussions then, I feel say the aspect of, you know, blame game not get for there. The laws then they most times you do it what you get until you get what you want.
All right, quickly, Mr. Kamara, waiting for all you did again. Let we make small money. Would they go na studio 2 for this short commercial break?
GhanaSongs.org. They causing confusion.
But this confuse me, boo. Look where Uncle Nat in Wall Solid. Look in block them where them beat for them, where they save solid, and at the same amount of cement and sand then they use for beat me on. But look what in the happen, me wall down for them, all the block they all don't scatter. It like say some kind magic they behind this. You want to know the magic behind this? Now the superior quality, extra strong, extra life and extra yield cement where are the use, and that's not Dangote 3X Portland limestone cement. Dangote cement na the highest grade cement in the country. When a 42.5 R grade cement, when no one day come na this country, and a one of the highest grade pan cement where you go get na the wall. Where you want you concrete, wall and block solid, use Dangote 42.5 R cement, you no go regret them. you go get Dangote 42.5R cement. Now all then shop and building material store na the one whole country.
Salon, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We still get Frederick Ibrahim Kamara, winner Director of Education, Communication and Training from the Human Rights Commission of Salon. Yes, Mr. Kamara, before we take the commercial break, we talk about the human rights position on the rights of the Pikindem in the country.
Yes, like I say, the laws and they. And when I been make my first submission, I say, now the implementation process now gets challenges, now weak, but the laws and they, and if we not able to implement what you will get right now, even if we bring others, then can now compound the problems. And so the Ministry of Social Welfare, where they at the center of all this, therefore take the responsibility, say, then get the obligation for protect the rights of picking them. As a commission, we get a whole unit where we call the Women and Children's Affairs Unit, where they monitor and document the issues of children around the country. And so in the community engagement processes, in the monitoring of even correctional facilities, juvenile homes, we they document waiting beginning they go through. And when we do that, we they put them in what we refer to as the State of Human Rights Report every year. And the commission don't exist we don't start operations from 2006 because the act came into being in 2004, but actual operations start in 2006. And we'll get to first report in 2007. Up to this point, we don't produce about 11 reports. And a whole section there we capture the issue of picking them, how for protect and promote the rights of picking them. And then how they present to government. The act mandatory for engage the president and parliament. Every year will produce their reports and they for represent to president and parliament. Well, the president in the human rights angle, now the principal human rights defender in Sierra Leone. And so when we observe with our human rights compliance, how they maintain human rights in the country, we'll go engage them. Now the duty at the executive level now for that and discuss, because we know they only talk with see, but they make recommendations.
From the commission, yes. In your point of view,
yes,
waiting on an assessment on the way how the government and the parents and they collaborate for protect the Pikine rights.
Well, let's take the parents your angle. Indeed, I go on for agree with Auntie Joyce that we observe now, like we get what we call moral guarantors. Mm-hmm. In the human rights angle, we always look at three dimensions: the legal rights, the moral rights, and the human rights. When we come to the moral rights, we get people that we refer to as moral guarantors. The parents are one. And it's like in a whole societal decline of the moral values in this country. Now, this country, you the parent, when in girl pick you in 15, 16 years dress, any kind of way, young bag, he say, Mama, they come. He say, okay, go come or send for me. When in that they send. So the societal duties, the values don't change. For let the parents go find for the Pekin. Now the Pekin they go find for.
You make mention of sometimes how the Pekin and kinders tell them their mama then say mama they come. Mm-hmm. You think say the Pekin themselves na contributor to waiting they happen to them?
Now the parents, waiting do, we get a whole picture, the responsibility. Again, most times the indirect we say, we they talk about rights, we don't talk about responsibilities. But one thing you say, from the international document, we call the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the last 3 articles, you get 30 articles, from 27 to 30, they tell you about the responsibility where somebody gets. The whole concept about human rights, now for let people then live in dignity and respect. If you they swing you on, you go knock other person in us, no problem. You don't reduce them. So, what they say are the parents, the society get in a role for play in bringing. The Pekin can come as an innocent person. You know, if you waiting, that the big question. Waiting make we call we say human, and the other dogs and push them we call them other animals. Now three things them: the life, dignity, and development. We get they all get life, but we as human beings we get with dignity and respect, and then we get the ability for develop. That developmental process now a holistic business way the parents, the community, the society, government, and other institutions they involve in.
Like
So yes,
we don't see USAI investigations them don't be carried out mainly on violent issues them, but the outcome and recommendation them now one big problem. How the Human Rights Commission would change that particular plan? The
on violent issues like what you say, example,
violent issues against speaking them.
Yes,
you know we don't they happen. Then they come with outcome and recommendation, but you know they still say the work.
Yeah, well now they say because you get every level getting your responsibility. The human rights aspect we already had been talked earlier. Say we get mandate for protect and promote human rights. So when we don't do that, we expect a protection deal with the laws, promotion, and like what they do so, public education and awareness raising, for build the culture of human rights in Sierra Leone, for let Pekin imbibe the culture of human rights from the early age. When we don't do them, it gets another level, the moral level. This country, first we say na community the men picking them. But now, when you somebody in the neighborhood mistake chastise, you picking na a whole problem. We go to the legal aspect, access to justice. So if we don't unearth the challenges them we picking a face, the violent behavior of people them, because mind you, government or the state now they violate the rights of people them.
Right.
Then private individuals or non-state actors that they abuse the rights of picking them. But we'll talk about that.
All right. Quickly, Madam Joyce, going forward, you agree say owner as a ministry get the right or responsibility for do more in terms of implementing the law there, or maybe sit down with other relevant stakeholders them for look inside some of the laws them and try for repeal them?
Yeah, well, even this morning that we get for go do like where be they talk picking the day in governance today. I don't know if you know that even the vice president in office one picking get for ask day. So now in this way we sit down, I don't tell when I say instead get in your ministry we get for all that picking that they do and for me they know say the status, the situation are very important in nation building, so that the parents today they will know say the picking they very important, so that they will encourage them their land. Now that may even Ministry of Education, Ministry of Social Welfare, and so the General's office picking the girl for day this morning. Now that makes sense for the worry for go. So for them we just motivate them so that they will able for land, let them become responsible citizens of this country.
Going forward, any plan there as a ministry for long and look inside the laws then back, because clearly from what Marian say it should say the law then weak, you know.
I think say you know they really go with what they talk. We just don't review the Anti-Human Trafficking Act of 2005. Now we get robust act. It did very recently. Don't do it. Then right now with a plan again for review the whole Child Rights Act of 2007, but not to the ministry. No more they do it. We now coordinate with the coordinator. We get legal practitioners and the law department.
The coordinator and the coordinator a great role than the.
So now we don't forward to them say we need so laws and for me then review. They don't begin doing.
Only na follow we see the realities na the ground. Follow we see say yes, picking and life they change. You know the laws then they really they work. And
the law they work when you the director and begin where the parents and when next time they send them picking them for me they go find money. That time social welfare no dey, and when we want take the case seriously with the police there, the police then go witness this. I'm pretty sure when I forget FSU, they go tell when I wait they encounter. Then they left the perpetrators. They made them run away. In fact, then they compromise with their cases. Then you know when they compromise with cases, waiting police go do, waiting social welfare go do.
All right, like to you, Marian. How going forward? How una they ensure say una continue for engage government in una advocacy for them look inside una concern them where una don't put before them where they affect una speaking them.
Yeah, so just for before I come to your question, Khadija, just for look at Auntie Joyce of himself agree with me, say the laws them conflicting. When you look at the Child Rights Act, you look at the Customary Marriage Act, they get a conflicting laws. So till all them laws them be really work for protect we, and the implementations, just like Amen could agree with me now, very slow. So as advocates, the what we they do for make sure say the laws they are really protect rights them now for make we see say we dialogue with the government, because in advocacy we self-recognize say it not get for happen one time. Just like how a new government don't come, we get for dialogue, we get for make sure so voices be heard, we get for make sure so continue for advocate for the issues that they affect to come be picking them. We not go stop until all picking left street and get quality education. We not get for stop until all picking get adequate food. We not get for stop until all picking go school. It be saying a pregnant person, it be say you get belly or you not get belly. We not get for stop until child labor done. So we get work them for do, and self social welfare self get work for do, because they not go stop till all the issues they are be addressed. And we not say the government, Nigeria's government, them focus on human capital delivery, and so we they plead with His Excellency the President for take picking issues them very seriously and make them look to we well-being, because if picking them be protected, then the future bright for Salon. But if they're not protected, then you have more thieves, more radicals on the street. So as Children's Forum Network, we are major way we dey liaise with the government now for dialogue with them, for make sure say we issues them be heard and we voices be heard.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, listener, there Marian for left winner the studio, as he say he get another engagement, picking them they engage with stakeholder then today this morning. Musa the Vice President get for the end Joyce Kamara Sef, when the Director of Children's Affairs instead get for the other program they sitting the left wing at the studio. Una thank you very much. Una join me at the program this morning. Will they continue with the program? Good morning, Salon.
And will they take another issue inside the program when I want power headlines to read them? Outside the President Julius Madabio don't call on leader and citizen them for do the thing them where the late President Ahmad Tijan Kaba been they do for maintain peace and democracy for transform Salon. Dr. Bio talk this Sunday, June 16, where it launched the Ahmad Tijan Kaba Foundation of Freetown. Mohammed Sharif gets more in Gonao reports.
Formally launch the President Ahmad Tijan Kaba Foundation.
His Excellency President Dr. Julius Madabio been launched the first late President Alhaji Dr. Ahmad Tijan Kaba Foundation na Bintuman International Conference all abadin Freetown. Usai President Bio we ide king keynote address say a glady for B Salon President now for launch this foundation.
With the objective of promoting peaceful coexistence, cohesion, tolerance, respect, and justice. Today, fellow Sierra Leoneans, we celebrate the life and legacy of a worthy citizen, our former president, a man of great faith, courage, who remained passionate about fostering a culture of peace and building enduring institutions.
Dr. Bioke Yon for call on all leaders and citizens them for do things them we go bring Salon people together. As he say, late President Kaba been bring peace and create national institutions them in the country.
President Ahmed Tijan Kaba retired gracefully from politics at the end of his term of office, having led the country with diligence and integrity. His persistence demonstrated his great courage and faith. So too do we abide as a nation in President Ahmad Tijan Kaba's work, legacy, and his hope that in too distant future, the nomenclature of post-conflict country will disappear entirely, and our country, Sierra Leone, will graduate and earn a place among the most peaceful, stable, and developed countries in the world. This is what brings us together today, to immortalize his legacy and to enshrine his vision as guiding principles in transforming our nation.
Inside Iyon talk as one party special guest them, the former Liberia President Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf say in and late President Kaba been work na the United Nations before then they be presidents na the different country them. and say work together for tap the younger issue where they between Salon and Guinea.
But the more enduring memories come from the struggle that ensured, the sufferings that were endured, the hard decisions and the compromises that had to be made to end years of bloody and destructive conflict to secure the peace for our sub-region. As the Tijan Kaba Foundation for Peace and Democracy is launched, we commend its vision to champion a holistic approach to peace, democracy, and justice, advocating the resolution to ensure that peace will continue to prevail. We must continue with the strength and the courage to promote peace and solidarity among all of our national and regional institutions.
Where they talk on behalf of Mo Ibrahim Foundation, Mr. Abdullah Janes say this is an initiative where they all go support all them.
This initiative which we all commend for a great man, a humble man, great African statesman, so that we keep his legacy alive. We create a foundation which will mirror his values and his attributes, various attributes. And certainly me and my fellow retired UN will continue to honor him and to respect. He was a marvelous guy. I salute him not only what he did for us, but you recognize people when they have power, when they have money, and whether they will keep their friends and whether they will continue to be humble people. Humility of Bakaba.
And late President Tijan Kaba died 13th March 2014 at the age of 82 years. And according to the founder and chief executive officer Tijan Kaba Foundation, Madam Asatu Jabi Kaba, been talk about the reason them we make Padif and family member them establish this foundation.
The ATK Foundation is born out of a desire to keep alive the contributions of the late president in the area of his love and passion for Sierra Leone, promoting, consolidating, and sustaining the peace, enhancing education, and in particular, the girl-child education, promoting citizens' livelihood through support to agriculture and food self-sufficiency. The ATK Foundation Sierra Leone will focus on strengthening and consolidating peace in Sierra Leone. The emphasis is on the united country working towards a common vision of Sierra Leone's sustainable national development.
But say for make this foundation go work proper one, make it say they plan for work na different parts them na the country.
To have operational points, stroke centers, initially in the region, and with time, the centers to the district levels to facilitate operations and access to targeted beneficiaries and operatives. The ATK Foundation is intended to serve as a vehicle for contribution to nation building, supporting the government of Sierra Leone in improving on the lives and well-being of Sierra Leoneans as the country works towards attainment of the critical United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And collectively, we can make Sierra Leone the paradise in West Africa than we have dreamt of for generations. Please kindly permit me at this point to recognize the very special role that has been played by our sitting president, His Excellency Brigadier Retired Dr. Julius Madabio, to ensure that this launching is done on this historic and memorable day, and I want to thank him and his government.
As President Dr. Julius Madabio don't launch the Tijan Kaba Foundation for promote peace and democracy in the country. Local and international partner them been assured for support this foundation, both technical and financial, for make people go continue for member the good work where the late President Kaba be make na the country and the world at large. The time we been there alive for the Society for Radio Democracy. Mohammed Sharif, the report.
We will continue with the program Good Morning Salon, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Quickly, let we listen to Walkabout.
Another morning, at a Monday, man, at a Monday, at a at a thing they be man, at a thing they be, at a CPA party, at a them baganta man, at a them baganta. I don't know if you don't see the release na book, put us up. I don't know go take then the condition them how let the speaker na parliament make them under hold and go put because of that court case. Let the speaker make them and they go blow because they not go take I say the right langa one day today at the pandy reading. I say I've been doing a marketing man, I've been doing a marketing, and I see Uchai don't see Charlie go pay when I visit Natebo. Not a true former president that I remember man. I say nothing lasts forever. Now they say what thing them go to talk to and they walk about. It no go different from that thing will be the talk for the political tension of the country. Not I say that one day go fine. I say because temper then they rise right now. I say temper then they rise. Ayarite Otis. I say she positive. I say Ayarite. Some people go attack now. They talk about the political tension. I say, this country man, I just check it. Me, na Jonah Ebuakabot.
The program where you listen to na Good Morning Salon. Now we take few text message. We don't come inside the program. This first one we I go read inside the program say thanks to IJ Kaba for the wonderful program launched yesterday. May the soul of the late Dr. Ahmed Tijan Kaba rest in perfect peace from Amara Alpha na Freetown.
This one they come up from Mark 10 and New England Ville. They say, Mr. Kamara, are there any plans to review the Child Protection Act because early marriage and child trafficking is on the increase?
And this other one say, bravo to the old boys, especially Honorable Swari of Islamic Secondary School in Kenema for their kind gesture for the pupils of that school. This is come out from Amara Alpha na Freetown again.
This one they say the advisory board to the National Children's Commission was disbanded since June last year and has since not been reconstituted.
This one says thanks to all those who are complementing the effort of President Bio flagship program. Well, from the text message in there, we'll come over to the studio guests for make a response to some of the text message will come for her.
Yeah, well, the one where I identify now the review of the Child Protection Act or the child law. As a commission, we always, like I've been saying, we get another function for review laws and make them child friendly. So the human rights aspect of every law now we concern about where they protect and promote the rights. So if the Ministry of Social Welfare and then the National Commission for Children see and necessary for let them review, we will be part of the process because as a commissioner that they do and we will always give your advisory role and contribution at the process.
Right, sir. Now for let people know about the human rights, how far una don't they go for raise awareness, to the public for let them know, seeing them way they na the human rights aspects for let the public self go aware about their rights.
Yeah, well, we want to tell you thank you for even giving us this platform this morning. Now, one of the medium there and they will be done the use, and in fact, in monitoring of human rights abuses and violations, we always don't rely on the media, and more especially within 98.1 King at the radio. Then they can be with first port of call every morning. We review the newspapers and even listen to the various electronic media. So waiting we can get can serve as a preliminary information for make we go on with monitoring, and that can even lead we on to investigation of human rights violations. So we want to tell Una thank you for supporting the work, and as a commission we currently as one part of our own intervention by this African Child's Day na public education and awareness raising. Currently, commissioners and staff there around various parts of the country, even in Freetown, we shape ourselves into 4 different groups. We, as I left here, me they go join my colleagues in a blind school. We go as far as King Tom, the remand home, and then the King Tom's secondary school, junior secondary school. So public education not limited to just using the media, but also we get with school education program, we get with community outreach programs. From all the commissioners and take up within the provinces, they meet with stakeholders, they engage them with the mandate and functions of the commission. So one tell you, thank you for giving us the opportunity for use on our platform for again educate the people. And one just use this opportunity to say the Human Rights Commission in Abo, Kenema and Makeni, and then we also get with headquarters na NEC building at Tower Hill, as well as Finley Street na Waterloo, as we structures them where people can carry them complaints of human rights violations. But any complaints can go. We go look at them and see whether we go take care or refer them to other partners.
All right, thank you very much. Frederick Ibrahim Kamara, a Director of Education, Communication and Training from the Human Rights Commission of Salon, can talk about the way how the Human Rights Commission don't they work together with government and other stakeholders them for ensure say them protect the Peking rights in the country. Well, now they end the program. Good morning, Salon for today's edition. Now Michael Sambola and Alex Lawrence Koma produced the program. DJ Lava na ingi with technical support, Moses Kavora and in team, and they make una watch we live on our Facebook page. Continue for listening to Radio Democracy at 12. We'll get we current affairs program, midday show. We'll get more information and day for you. 7 o'clock in the evening at 10 for national news. At 9, what a current affairs program within the bay. So to meet back, Mina Khadija Bangura, they say have a nice week.
And Mina Elizabeth Campbell, they say tata for now.
Radio Democracy 90.